Hello everybody, this is the Portly Gamer once again with a brand new episode of Games You Should Play. The title screen just went away. We are playing Enter the Gungeon today. I want to show you guys this game. It's actually a game I started to play very recently. And it came out about a year ago, so this is probably one of the more recent games I've talked about on Games You Should Play. So we're going to check it out, we're going to play it. So just jumping right into it. So to start out, you have 4 characters to play with. Each has their own little perks. So we've got the Marine, who I prefer because to me he's kind of easier to play with, which is nice in this game because this is not an easy game. Then we have the Pilot. You have the Convict, who I kind of like because she has a handgun and a shotgun to start out with, plus a Molotov. And then you have the Hunter, who has a Corgi that helps you find items. So that's pretty cool. She's also got a crossbow, which can be a one-hit kill for some of the more common enemies. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Marine, though, because I like him. As you see, he's got his helmet on, and he's ready to go. So the game's pretty fun. It's just some simple mechanics. Twin-stick shooter. You can play with the mouse and keyboard, I'm sure, but I prefer to play with the controller. I just noticed how nice the shadows are behind him. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so you walk around and you can roll. Rolling is actually very important in this game because you'll see in a moment how crazy it can get. So just gonna head up the stairs, and as the game title suggests, we're going to enter the Gungeon. Alright, so now we are in the Gungeon and the door is closed on us. So Enter the Gungeon is a roguelite, sort of very similar to The Binding of Isaac, except in my opinion, it's a lot better. I never really cared for The Binding of Isaac. I'm going to turn down this game in my head. I never really cared for The Binding of Isaac. I've tried multiple times to play it, but it's just, to me, kind of boring, kind of gross, and just I have my own personal reasons why I just can't bring myself to enjoy a game that chooses some of the art style and stuff that it uses. But this game, I think, just personally my preference, I find it a lot better. Second I bought this game, I was already enjoying it way more than Binding of Isaac. So as you can see, you run around and you shoot stuff. That's a key guy there. He drops a key that I can use to open various locked things in the dungeon, or in the Gungeon. Like chests, you find chests that have items and power-ups and weapons. You also occasionally find jail cells that are locked, and they'll have chests and stuff inside of them. One thing I meant to talk about with the Marine is one of his perks is he starts off with a piece of armor, which I've already lost because I've been hit. Basically, armor gets you basically a free hit before you start taking actual damage. So now I have 3 hearts left, as you see in the top left. That's actually basically equivalent to 6 hits. Each heart is 2 hits. As you can see, the heart are bullets. And yeah, they call it the Gungeon for a reason. It's all about guns. As you can see, all the enemies are basically based on bullets. There's like shotgun shells, which have shotguns. There's these normal little bullet dudes who I think are adorable, and they're kind of the mascot of the game. Oh, I got hit, see? And then you see I lost half a heart, which means I lost 1 bullet up there. The blue bullets below that are it's sort of it's like this weird, I guess it's not really an attack, it's more of just like a thing that you can do where you click both controller sticks at once and you stop all of the projectiles in the room. Like they basically just disappear, so you get like a free shot out of getting hit. Very useful in boss fights. I highly recommend saving them for boss fights unless you're in a really intense room where you're about to die. Got another key. This here is a portal, which you can use. I'm going to open the map here, and you can use to teleport to other rooms in the Gungeon that have portals. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back to where I was. On the top right, of course, you see the radar. This room over here with the dude's, this little icon is actually a dude's face, and it's red because I can't go that way. I can only come back from that path, so I have to find a way around. That dude's face, that's actually a shopkeeper, which you can use your bullet shells to buy stuff. Right, the store is all random. This is the room to the boss, which I am not ready for yet. I will show you a boss in a moment because the bosses are pretty interesting and they are pretty hard. I'm probably gonna die. So this game is really hard. If you're not into difficult games, this probably isn't for you. you're not into procedurally generated games, this game probably isn't for you. As I mentioned, it is a roguelite. It actually kind of gives me a Rogue Legacy sort of vibe with some of the art style and some of the enemies. So there's a locked chest. So this is Heart of Ice. So that gives me an extra heart. So now I have 4 hearts total. So that's pretty useful. This game has sort of permanent progression, but it sort of doesn't. There are ways to unlock permanent upgrades, but I particularly have a hard time doing it because you have to be fairly decent at progressing in the game by beating bosses and whatnot, and I tend to die on the bosses. I've only ever gotten as far as the 2nd floor. I don't know what all that stuff was. I think that was my Heart of Ice, and because I lost it, ice just went everywhere. But yeah, I've only ever gotten as far as the 2nd floor, and I've only ever gotten there a couple times, and things get significantly harder. There's traps and whatnot, new kinds of enemies, new kinds of bullet formations. As you can see, enemies shoot different types of bullet formations. Got another chest. This has another key and C4. I probably use the C4 more than the walkie-talkie. The walkie-talkie is the Marine's default item. You can use it to call in an ammo supply drop. So now we're up here. This is the shop. So you can buy more of these they're called blanks, that's what they are. You can buy more of these blanks, and they help it. They are basically the ammo, or the more of these you have, the more you can do that move where you cancel out all the enemy projectiles. And then up here we have more armor. There's half hearts, and then a sawed-off shotgun, which I am just 3 shells away from being able to afford. I'm just gonna break all these barrels because I'm pissed off. I'm not really. It's fine. See, now I can open that door, so now I can go back and forth since I came from the other side. I'm gonna take this portal and come. Oh, I guess I can just go down here. So yeah, this game, I enjoy it quite a bit. I haven't played that much of it, to be honest. There's certain mechanics and things I'm sure I'm missing because, again, I haven't progressed that far. I haven't gotten to the 3rd floor. See, this guy reminds me of Rogue Legacy. This is totally Rogue Legacy. And as you can see, his bullet formation is pretty crazy and kind of hard to dodge, especially when there's no cover in the room. Cover is very helpful and important in Enter the Gungeon. I'm going to go back to the shopkeeper now and buy that shotgun just to show you what it's like to have another gun, because I haven't found one yet. So I've got my sawed-off shotgun now, so now I can hold the Y button down there to toggle between the 2 weapons, or I can just tap it for a quick toggle. But you get more guns as you progress and find more chests. So now I'm going to teleport all the way to the other end of the dungeon here. My preferred playstyle is to kind of just go through all the rooms, make sure I've cleared everything so I can find all the items I can. Like, here's another chest, so I'm going to use a key to unlock it, and now I have a banana. My gun is a banana. What does it do? Whoa! I don't know what that does, but I'm going to try that out with some enemies. That was kind of cool. Oh! Yeah, and so like I said, cover is important. Like, you have these tables which you can kick over, and now you have cover. They can get shot through after a couple shots, but you have some temporary cover. So that's pretty cool. And then you can always use the walls of the Gungeon itself as cover. Very helpful in intense fights. Oh, that's cool. So it's like a grenade kind of thing. And it shoots. Okay. I get it now. Right on. I think I will save this, though. See, that roll is very important. So the roll mechanic is very important and helpful, but it's tricky, because as the game sort of explains it, got some health, as the game explains it, you are not immune during the entire roll. So when you first roll up and you're in the air, you avoid damage, but as you're coming down and rolling, you can get hit. So if you roll over one bullet but roll into another, you're gonna get hit, and I have died that way many times. It looks like I've explored all the rooms that I can on this floor, so it's time to try to take on the boss. Don't have enough money for any health, so we're just gonna have to kind of go as is. So that was not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're back here in the boss room. I'm gonna break these pots just because I love to break everything in the dungeons. Don't know why. So yeah, you're gonna see what the bosses are like. It's this guy. I've never beaten this guy. So each time you fight a boss on the floor, it kind of is a random boss. It's not always the same set boss. I have beaten 2 of the different bosses I've encountered. This is the 3rd one, and I've never beaten him. So maybe I will on camera. I doubt it though. This guy gets pretty tricky. He likes to fly around and then he shoots rockets, and then you gotta kind of be careful and watch out for the rockets. That's not all he does. As you can see, he's got a big old Gatling gun. Alright, man, can I... Whoa. I am so glad that this room has this cover, because usually when I fight him... Usually when I fight him, the room doesn't have cover like that. Whoa. So I might have a little bit of an advantage that I wouldn't normally have. Because usually, when I fight him, the room is just all completely exposed. Okay, so switching between weapons, you can actually hold Y to choose the weapon between the weapons that you want. This does not stop time, though. This only slows time. So if you're taking too long and you're not careful, you could pay for it. Oh, I got hit again. It looks like every time I get hit, oh, shoot. I didn't even notice I was getting hit there. So yeah, I'm gonna use a blank now, and it cancels out all of his bullets. I have 1 hit left on me, but I'm so close. I had to use my other blank. I had to. Oh god. Oh, see, okay, I did it. I rolled. Oh, I was so close to finally beating him. I rolled out of the way of 1 bullet, and I rolled into another. So that's what happens. Gonna wrap this video up in just a moment, but I just kind of want to show you a couple other things. In the top right corner, you might see that currency of 1. You get more of those for beating the boss. I'm gonna be the convict this time. You get those for beating bosses, and I think you get them for some other stuff. I don't really remember. I'm pretty sure I've gotten them another way. But yeah, so the entrance to the Gungeon has different rooms you can unlock, like this room over here. I haven't unlocked it yet. I don't know what it does. But if you come up... Okay, I haven't unlocked that one either. But over here is a little shop where you can actually spend that currency that you see on the top right for more guns that can be added to the Gungeon. And you can also get like certain upgrades that are permanent. So I can't afford anything here except for this Thompson submachine gun, which means that'll be added to the possible number of guns that are available in the Gungeon. Not a huge advantage for me, really, so I'm just going to save that currency so I can get something better later on. So yeah, this is Enter the Gungeon. It's a game that I think you should play if you are into procedurally generated games. If you like games like Nucelar Throne or The Binding of Isaac, you've probably heard of this game and have already kind of looked into it. Well, here I am endorsing it myself, so whatever good that's for, there you have it. This has been the Portly Gamer. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, feel free to check out one of these other videos you see here on the screen, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me by looking up the Portly Gamer on the social networks below.